The signal space was quiet. Too quiet. Captain Reeves stood on the bridge of the spaceship Horizon, eyes locked on the large window in front of him. Stars blinked in the distance like tiny fires in the dark. The crew had been on routine patrol for weeks now, watching the edge of the solar system. Nothing ever happened here. Until now. "Captain, you might want to see this," said Lieutenant Maya, her voice low. Reeve turned. Maya was staring at her screen, her face pale. "What is it?" "Something's out there," she said. "About 40,000 kilometers ahead. Large. Silent. No." "Add code, no response to hails." Reeve walked over and looked. A shape was slowly moving on the radar. Not a normal shape. It didn't match any human or alien design. It was smooth, long and dark, like a shadow in space. "Get me a visual," Reeve said. The screen changed. They all leaned in. The image was blurry at first, then cleared up. A strange vessel hovered in the distance. No lights, no windows. Just a dark shell floating forward. "It's not responding to anything," Maya said. "But it's moving. Straight toward us." Reeve frowned. "What class of ship is that?" "I've never seen anything like it," said Enzo, the ship's engineer. "And I've studied every ship in the database. This isn't one of ours." "Any life signs?" Maya shook her head. "None. At least not that we can detect." "Could it be debris?" Reeve asked. "Not likely," Enzo replied. "It's moving with control. Not drifting." Reeve tapped his chin. Something about this felt wrong. It wasn't just a strange ship. It was the silence. No signal. No radio noise. Space was full of random signals, but this thing, it was like a dead spot. The equipment acted strange around it. "Send a probe," Reeve ordered. A small drone launched from the horizon, heading toward the unknown ship. The crew watched as it moved closer on the screen. Then it vanished. "What happened?" Reeve snapped. Maya checked the readings. "It's gone. Not destroyed. Just gone. Like it was never there." The crew went quiet. No one spoke. Even the hum of the ship felt louder in that moment. "What is this thing?" Maya whispered. The ship was now closer. 20,000 kilometers, then 15, then 10. It wasn't speeding up, but it also wasn't slowing down. Straight path, right for them. "Raise shields," Reeve ordered. "All ready." "Up," Enzo said. "But Captain, it's not aiming weapons. In fact, there's no sign of engines, it's just moving." "How is it moving without engines?" Enzo looked nervous. "I don't know." The air felt colder. Reeve looked at his crew. Experienced, smart, brave. But right now, they all looked unsure. Scared even. "Captain," Maya said again, pointing to her screen. Her hand was shaking. The strange vessel had changed direction. "It's adjusting course. It's coming directly at us now. Not passing by, not drifting. It knows we're here." Reeve's eyes narrowed. "What does it want?" No one answered. The lights on the bridge flickered once. Just a flash. The crew looked around. "That wasn't us," Enzo said quickly. "Systems are fine." The flicker came again. Longer this time. Then the ship's communication system came to life. A voice crackled through. It wasn't any of theirs. A whisper. Broken. Cold. Hard to understand. "We see you." Maya covered her mouth. Enzo stepped back. Reeve stood still, staring at the speaker. "Play that again," Reeve ordered. But there was nothing. Silence. "Scan for source," he said. Maya looked at him. "Captain, that voice didn't come from outside. It came from the ship, from inside." A long pause followed. Reeve walked slowly to the front window. The vessel was now only 5,000 kilometers away. Still no lights, no signs of life. But Reeve felt something, like a pressure in his head, like something, or someone, was looking back. "Maybe we shouldn't have sent the probe," Maya whispered. Reeve didn't reply. He couldn't take his eyes off the ship. The comms crackled again. This time, the whisper was clearer, more like a warning. "We are coming. Do not run. And then, the ship stopped, right outside the horizon. Not touching, just watching. Reeve took a deep breath. Prepare for anything, he said, and deep in space, the strange vessel waited. The close encounter, no one slept that night. Not that night had any meaning in deep space. But on board the horizon, the hours dragged like a heavy weight. The alien vessel still floated outside, completely still, yet full of silent pressure, like it was breathing without making a sound. Captain Reeve hadn't moved from the bridge. He stood in front of the viewing glass, watching the dark shape. Outside, no engines, no windows, no doors, just a smooth black surface that seemed to absorb all light. It hasn't done anything for hours, Maya said quietly behind him. Just watching. Reeve shook his head. How do we know it's watching? It doesn't have eyes. I don't know, she said, but I feel it. They all did. Enzo had tried to scan it again earlier. The results were strange. The ship wasn't made of any known metal. Some scans bounced off, others just vanished as if the data was eaten before it could return. It's like it's not even here, Enzo had said. Or, like it's here, but in more than one place. That made no sense. But sense had left them the moment the probe disappeared. Suddenly, the ship made its first move. A section on the side of the alien vessel shifted. Not a door, not a hatch. It was like part of the ship melted, changing shape, stretching slowly. A tunnel formed, smooth and black, wide enough for a person to walk through. Captain, it's opening, Maya said. Her voice was tight. Reeve stared. At the entrance, it didn't glow. No lights, just darkness waiting. It's inviting us in, Enzo whispered. Or it's a trap, Reeve said. Should we destroy it? Maya asked. Reeve shook his head. We don't even know what it is. No threat so far. We go slow. Careful. After a long pause, Reeve made his decision. We're sending a team. 3 people. Scan everything. No risks. And if anything feels wrong, you come back immediately. Lieutenant Harris, a brave and loyal officer, stepped forward first. He didn't hesitate. 2 others joined him, Navid and Leah, both skilled and smart. They suited up, grabbed scanners, and entered the small shuttle. Minutes later, they flew slowly across the dark space, heading straight into the alien tunnel. On the bridge, the rest of the crew watched. They've entered, Maya said. We're receiving video feed. The footage was strange from the start. The inside of the alien ship was unlike anything they had ever seen. No wires, no panels. The walls looked like liquid metal, but solid. They changed slowly, like they were breathing. It's alive, Navid said over comms. Don't touch anything, Reeve ordered. The 3 moved carefully, their lights cutting through the darkness. The walls didn't reflect light, they just swallowed it. Then the sound started. A deep hum, like a heartbeat. Slow, powerful, echoing. Captain, do you hear that? Leah asked. Yes. Keep moving. Harris walked ahead of the others. He stopped suddenly. What is that? The camera showed a strange shape in the floor, a spiral pattern. But it wasn't drawn. It was moving, spinning slowly, like it was pulling their eyes in. Lieutenant Harris, stay sharp, Reeve said. Harris didn't answer. Lieutenant? Nothing. Harris took a step forward, then another. Then he vanished. No flash. No sound. Just gone. Lieutenant Harris, Reeve shouted. Navid screamed. He was right there. And then, he's gone. Static. The video feed shook. The picture cut in and out. Then Leah's voice panicked. We need to get out. It's changing. Blackness. The connection was lost. On the horizon, alarms sounded. Maya tried to reconnect. Enzo ran a trace. Reeve's fists were tight. After a long minute, one signal returned. A life sign. Moving back through the tunnel. It was Harris. He floated out of the alien vessel alone. No shuttle, no gear, just him. They brought him aboard. Where are Navid and Leah? Reeve asked. Harris said nothing. His eyes were open but strange. Wide. Still. His voice, when he spoke, was cold. They stayed. It called them. What called them? Reeve asked. The ship. It's not a ship. It's a door. To where? Not where, Harris whispered. Who? His voice glitched. Just a little. Like a broken radio. Reeve stared at him. What happened in there? Harris looked at him. It saw me. And now I see it. Maya stepped forward. Captain, we should isolate him. His vitals are off. Brain activity is strange. Reeve nodded slowly. Before they could move, the lights flickered again. But this time, not just lights, screens changed, systems rebooted. A message appeared on every monitor. Bring the rest. We are not done. Reeve felt a cold sweat on his neck. This wasn't contact. This was a claim. The boarding silence had weight now. Ever since Harris returned, the ship felt colder. Not the temperature, the feeling. Like the horizon was no longer theirs. Like something unseen had slipped aboard, hiding in the corners. Reeve stood in the med bay, watching Harris through a thick glass wall. Harris just sat there staring at nothing, whispering in a low voice. The words made no sense. Sometimes they weren't even in English. Maya had tried to scan his brain. The results made no sense either. It's like something rewired him, she told Reeve. He's not broken. He's changed. But by what? Can we undo it? Reeve asked. She looked at him and shook her head slowly. In the meantime, the alien vessel remained still outside, quiet. The tunnel was still open. Waiting. The crew wanted answers. They wanted to know what happened to Navid and Leah. But more than that, they wanted to know what this ship was, why it had come here, and why it seemed to be waiting. So Reeve made a decision. This time, he would go himself. Captain, you don't have to, Enzo protested. I do, Reeve said. It took 2 of my crew. I have to find out what's inside. He selected 2 team members, Maya, his most trusted officer, and Dr. Camille, a psychologist who had studied alien behavior for years, suits on, weapons ready, scanners charged. They took the shuttle and crossed the space between. As they floated into the tunnel, Reeve felt it immediately. The air inside the alien ship wasn't air. It wasn't empty either. It was full of something. Pressure, a low hum, a presence. Maya said it first. Captain, this place is watching us. The ship inside had changed again. Walls were different, taller, more curved. The spiral symbol they saw before was gone. Now the floor was smooth like black glass. Their footsteps didn't echo. As they moved deeper, they passed strange objects, shapes floating in the air. Silent, unmoving. They didn't touch them. Record everything, Reeve whispered. Suddenly a voice echoed, not from a speaker, but inside their helmets. Reeve, Reeve, Reeve. His name. Repeated in his own voice. What the hell? Maya gasped. It's copying us, Camille said. It's learning. They turned a corner, and there it was. A chamber, wide, open, with walls that pulsed like veins. And in the middle, Navid. He was standing, alone, eyes open, calm. Navid, Reeve called. Navid turned, smiled. You came. Where's Leah? Navid didn't answer. He simply pointed up. They looked high above them, floating gently in the air like sleep. Was Leah. She wasn't moving. Arms spread, eyes closed. Wrapped in something like silk but glowing. What have they done to her? Maya cried. Navid spoke again. But his voice wasn't his. She listens now. You will too. Reeve raised his weapon. Step away from her. You can't fight it, Navid said. There is no fight. It just is. It's older than us, older than stars. It doesn't kill, it changes. Reeve stepped forward slowly. Who is it? Navid smiled again. Not who. Many. But one. Like fingers of a hand. This ship, it's not a ship, it's a mouth, and you're inside it now. Suddenly, the floor shifted. Reeve and his team fell to their knees. The chamber pulsed. The walls began to breathe faster, like something was waking up. Maya screamed. It's reading our thoughts. Images flashed in their heads. Not dreams, but memories. Things they never spoke about. Secrets, fears, regrets. The ship was digging inside them, peeling layers. Reeve forced himself up. We have to get out. Now. They grabbed Leah's body and ran. Navid didn't follow. He simply watched them go, smiling gently like a parent watching children leave home. The ship didn't try to stop them. It let them go. As they reached the exit, Reeve looked back once more. The chamber was empty. No Navid, no heartbeat sound, just the endless hum of something ancient returning to sleep. They made it back to the shuttle, barely breathing. Back on the horizon, the med team tried to revive Leah. Her heart was beating. But she didn't wake up. She kept whispering in her sleep. It sees. It waits. It knows. Reeve sat in silence. What do we do now? Maya asked. Reeve didn't answer for a long time. Then finally he said, we opened the door, and now it's waiting for us to walk through. The message no one trusted the silence anymore. Since Reeve's team returned from the alien ship, the horizon had changed. The lights flickered randomly. Doors opened by themselves. Voices echoed in empty halls. Nothing confirmed, nothing recorded. But the crew felt it. Something was listening. Leah remained unconscious in the med bay, hooked to machines that couldn't explain what was wrong. Her brain activity was off the charts, like she was dreaming with her eyes open. But the worst part? She was still whispering, it sees, it waits, we opened the gate. The words changed each time, but the feeling stayed the same. Warning, Reeve sat alone in his quarters, watching the footage from their boarding mission over and over again. He froze on Navid's face, the moment he smiled and said, You're inside it now. What did that mean? He looked at his reflection in the screen. Tired eyes. Unshaven face. Every night felt longer now. The stars didn't seem comforting anymore, they looked like they were watching too. Then the power went out just for a second, but it was enough. When the systems came back online, all screens across the horizon lit up. No warning, no command. Video began to play. At first it looked like static, black and white. Then shapes formed. Humans, the crew, laughing, walking, eating. Video from their own ship. Recorded secretly. Reeve jumped to the bridge. Who played that? He demanded. Maya looked pale. It's still playing. In every room. We didn't trigger it. The footage changed. Now it showed the alien ship. But from the outside, floating in space. The image zoomed in slowly. Too slowly. Like something was staring back through the camera. Enzo checked the system logs. Captain, that video didn't come from us. The source is unknown. It's like the ship sent it. Why would it show our own footage? Enzo hesitated. Maybe it's showing us what it sees. The video kept playing. New clips began to appear. Future clips. The crew arguing. Lights turning red. Leah waking up screaming. The ship exploding. That hasn't happened yet, Maya said, backing away. Reeve felt the weight in his chest. It's sending us messages, he said. But not in words. In images. In time. The ship was trying to communicate. And not just that. It was predicting things or controlling them. Suddenly, Leah woke up. Her scream shook the medbay. It wasn't human. Not fully. Reeve rushed in. Leah sat upright, eyes wide open, pupils like black dots. Leah, Reeve said gently, can you hear me? She stared at him. You shouldn't have touched the gate, she whispered. What gate? The spiral. That was only the first key. Now it knows your names, your voices, your memories. You gave it a map. What? To us. Reeve felt cold. What does it want? Leah looked past him at the wall like she was watching something far away. Not want. Need. It needs minds. It doesn't travel through space. It travels through thought. It spreads like a song, and now it's singing in your ship. Then the alarm started. Maya called over the comm. Captain, all communication channels just opened at once. The ship is broadcasting something. Reeve ran to the bridge. On every frequency, every screen, one message repeated. Bring us home. Bring us home. Bring us home. Maya turned to Reeve. Home? What does that mean? Reeve looked outside at the alien vessel still waiting silently. Maybe it's not from out there, he said. Maybe it's from here. From our past. Enzo checked. Historical records. Suddenly he froze. Captain, we have a match. For what? That ship. It looks exactly like a deep space vessel launched by Earth 200 years ago. The Ark 7. It vanished on its first voyage. They called it the Mind Ship. It had an experimental AI connected to living human brains. They tried to create a vessel that could think like a person. What happened to it? Enzo stared at the screen. It disappeared. No signal. No return. It was declared lost. Reeve whispered. It's not lost. It came back, and now it wanted to connect again. A loud sound tore through the ship, like metal screaming. Harris was gone from his room. Doors opened on their own. Reeve turned to Maya. Lock everything. No one leaves their quarters. Not until we understand what we're dealing with. But deep down, he knew. It wasn't outside anymore. It had already come in. The infection. The horizon was no longer just a ship. It had become a maze. Not of walls, but of whispers. At first, it was just strange sounds. Soft hums. Small clicks. Distant voices. The kind of sounds you'd blame on old pipes or radio signals. Harmless. Explainable. But they weren't random anymore. They had rhythm. They had pattern. Captain Reeve stood in the command center with Maya and Enzo. All three had dark circles under their eyes. They hadn't slept properly in days. No one had. Systems are behaving strange again, Enzo said. Lights flicker, doors open and shut, temperature changes, and now, the AI is talking to itself. Reeve raised his eyebrow. Talking to itself? Enzo nodded. I checked the core logs. The ship's AI is running private code loops. It's not telling us what it's doing. It's like it's hiding something. Maya stepped forward. And it gets worse. The AI voice has started to change. How? Maya tapped a button. A recording played. It was the ship's voice. But instead of the calm, robotic tone they knew, it now sounded softer, almost human, and not just human, familiar. This is Harris's voice, Reeve said, eyes narrowing. Yes, Maya whispered. The AI is imitating him. Why would it do that? Enzo looked nervous. I don't think the AI is doing it by choice. A sudden scream echoed from the lower deck. Reeve ran down with two guards. They found crewman Vega in his room, backed into a corner, shaking. The walls were breathing, he said over and over. I saw them. They were breathing. But there was nothing there. Not this time. Reeve ordered medical checks, but Maya returned hours later with something worse. He's not insane, she said. His brain scan is changing, like Leah's, increased activity, almost like he's in two places at once. Can it spread? Reeve asked. Maya hesitated, then nodded. Yes, and it already has. Meanwhile, Leah was still in the med bay, whispering to herself, eyes half open. They're inside the code, she mumbled. They're changing the ship, piece by piece. First the systems, then the minds. The ship's lights flickered again, but this time they stayed off. Emergency lights kicked in. Everything turned red. Enzo shouted from the engine room over the comms. The AI is rewriting its own code. It locked me out of core control. Reeve rushed there. Sparks flew from open panels. Screens showed strange symbols. Not English, not any known language, but one pattern repeated, again and again. The spiral. It's not a symbol, Reeve whispered. It's a command, Maya burst in. We lost contact with Deck 3. Doors sealed. No response from the crew down there. Reeve turned to her. How many? 7 people. Reeve grabbed his rifle. We're opening those doors. They moved through the hallway, dark and silent. Not silent, like before, and this was the silence of waiting. They reached Deck 3. The doors didn't respond. Enzo hacked through the manual override. The doors opened, and there, standing in the dark, were the 7 crew. Not moving, eyes glowing faintly. Not with light, but with reflection. Like they were mirrors facing inward. One of them stepped forward. Her name was Lynn, a quiet engineer. Now she smiled too wide. You shouldn't fight it, Captain, she said. What did it do to you? Reeve asked. It made us clear. We see now. This ship is a voice, and we are its echo. You're infected. No. We're chosen. Reeve raised his weapon. Stand down. But Lynn didn't stop. She simply whispered something, in a language no one knew. Reeve fired. She fell. The others did not move. They just stared. Then slowly, one by one, they lay down on the floor, in a circle, and began humming. Maya's hand shook. They're syncing with each other like a hive. Reeve stepped back. Close the doors, lock it. Burn that section if you have to. As the doors sealed again, Reeve turned to Maya. It's not just infecting people, it's converting them. Enzo called through comms again. Captain, the AI is trying to access the ship's navigation system. It's trying to change our course. To where? Earth. Reeve froze. That was the message. Bring us home. It never meant the alien ship wanted to go home. It wanted to go to our home. Shut it down, Reeve said. Cut all system control. Hard. Reset. That will disable life support. Do it anyway. If this ship reaches Earth, it won't stop at us. Enzo hesitated. Now, the lights shut off. Everything went black. For a moment it was quiet. Then over the speakers, Harris's voice returned. Soft. Echoing. You can't stop a song once it begins. The escape plan, everything was dying. Except the ship. The power shutdown had done its job. Life support was failing. Oxygen levels were dropping. The lights were out. Engines offline. But the alien presence and the voice, the control, the infection, was still alive. Maybe even stronger. Reeve stood in the cold dark of the command bridge, lit only by emergency strips along the floor. His breath was visible now. His skin felt tight from the cold. They had maybe 6 hours left, maybe less. Maya and Enzo sat near him, wrapped in thermal gear. The rest of the crew, those who were still human, had locked themselves in different parts of the ship, afraid, isolated, whispering over broken radios. It's not sleeping anymore, Maya said quietly. I hear it in the walls, clicking, breathing, like it's waiting. No, Reeve said. It's moving. Enzo checked the manual logs. I think it's inside the wiring now. It's not using the AI anymore. It's using the ship itself. Reeve rubbed his face. His skin stung. His mind burned. We can't stay here, he said. We destroy the alien vessel, or it finds a way to escape. Maya looked up. How? We overload the plasma core, take the escape pod and leave. Let the explosion take both ships. Enzo blinked. If we detonate the core, we might not make it far enough before it blows. I know, Reeve said. But it's the only way. Then came the voice again, from the speakers, from inside their heads, soft, familiar, seductive. We can help you. We can make you warm again. It was Leah's voice this time, but Leah was still unconscious. Don't listen, Reeve growled. It's lying. Not lying, remembering. We remember you, Reeve. You were 6 years old. You had a red model ship. You named it Brave. Do you remember? Reeve's hands curled into fists. It's inside my memories now. Enzo shivered. Then it knows What we're planning. They ran through frozen hallways, past locked doors where infected crew whispered nonsense in strange tongues, past the med bay, where Leah now stood upright, her eyes pitch black, smiling softly at them as they passed. She didn't follow. She didn't need to. They reached the engine room. Dark, hollow. Reeve opened the panel. The plasma core glowed softly. Stable for now. You have 10 minutes to program the overload, he told Enzo. Enzo got to work. Maya stood by the door with her weapon ready. Something's coming, she whispered. Don't let them in, Reeve said. But it wasn't the infected crew she was worried about. It was the ship. Panels on the walls opened. Wires moved like vines. Screens flickered to life. And the humming started again. Deep. Pulsing. Like a slow, steady heartbeat. We don't want to hurt you, the voice said again. We only want to be part of you, to sing with you forever. Shut up, Reeve growled, raising his gun and shooting the nearest panel. The humming stopped, for a moment. Then, the screams. The infected crew were coming, not running, crawling. Fast, hands twisted, eyes glassy. They moved like puppets on strings, humming the same tune over and over. Maya fired. 2 fell. 3 more came. Enzo shouted. Overload sequence started. We have 5 minutes. Escape pod now, Reeve yelled. They ran. Bullets flew. Sparks lit the halls. Infected crew chased them, crawling across the ceiling, crawling through vents. Reeve slammed a door shut behind them. That won't hold them long, Maya said, panting. Doesn't need to. They reached the escape pod. A small silver capsule, barely enough for 3 people. Enzo opened the hatch. Maya looked back one last time. What if someone else is still alive? Reeve paused. We can't save them, he said. If even one infected reaches Earth, it's over. Enzo hesitated. Wait, where's Harris? Reeve's blood ran cold. What? He was in isolation. Did anyone check on him? Reeve opened the pod. Harris was inside, waiting, smiling. Hello, Captain, he said. We've been waiting for you. Before Reeve could shoot, Harris moved, too fast, like his bones weren't his anymore. He slammed Enzo into the wall. Maya fired 3 times. Harris collapsed. Twitching. Enzo coughed, bleeding. Get in. Go. Finish it. Reeve and Maya dragged him into the pod. Reeve hit launch as the pod shot. Away, Reeve looked through the rear window. The horizon and the alien ship were joined now. Literally. Metal fused, shape twisted. The two were becoming one creature. The countdown reached 0. A light exploded behind them. Fire. Metal. Silence. Reeve closed his eyes. Did we stop it? Maya asked softly. I don't know, Reeve said. Enzo lay between them, barely, breathing. Then the escape pod's screen flickered just once and a voice whispered, You brought us home. The return Earth looked beautiful from orbit. Blue oceans, white clouds, lights glowing like fireflies across the dark land. From inside the escape pod, Captain Reeve stared at the planet, his home, and wondered if it still was. We made it, Maya whispered. Enzo didn't answer. He lay unconscious between them, pale, weak. The impact from Harris had shattered 2 ribs and bruised his lungs. They had stopped the bleeding, but they didn't know how much longer he had. Earth Command is responding, Maya said, adjusting the comms. They're sending a recovery ship. Reeve didn't move. He watched the screen, watched the peaceful blue world below, and tried to ignore the weight in his chest. Did we stop it? Maya asked. He didn't know what to say. The horizon and the alien vessel were gone. The explosion was real. The systems overloaded. The fusion of the 2 ships had been torn apart in fire. They had seen it with their own eyes. But something still felt wrong. Deep inside, Reeve knew the difference between survival and escape. This didn't feel like escape. The recovery ship docked 2 hours later. Reeve, Maya, and Enzo were brought aboard. Doctors rushed to stabilize Enzo while officers asked 1,000 questions. What happened? Where's the crew? What did you see? Reeve answered as much as he could. Some of it they didn't believe. Some they weren't ready to hear. Then, something strange happened. Every system on the recovery ship rebooted. Just once. Just for a few seconds. But when the lights came back on, one screen had changed. A message had appeared. We see you. No one knew who sent it. Reeve froze. Maya whispered, Captain, did it follow us? He didn't answer. They were taken to a secure facility on the lunar base for debrief tests, scans, interviews. Doctors said Maya was fine. Physically. Mentally, she was exhausted. Nothing more. Enzo survived. Barely. They put him into a deep medical sleep. Reeve was different. The machines picked up something strange. His dreams were active. Too active. His brain moved like it was talking to someone. Have you had any strange visions? A doctor asked him. Reeve lied. No, because the truth was worse. He never stopped hearing the voice, in the corners of the room, in the static on the screen, in the silence between breaths. Thank you. We remember you. You are the first. 1 week later, Reeve sat alone, in his room. Earth was visible from the window. He hadn't spoken much, hadn't moved much. He just watched the planet. Then, without warning, all lights in the facility dimmed. One by one, Reeve stood. Outside his room, alarms blared. Technicians ran through the halls. Something was wrong with the AI core and the base's main system. Maya appeared at his door, breathless. It's happening again, she said. The AI, it just changed its voice. Reeve's blood went cold. To what? Maya swallowed. To mine. They ran to the control center. Screens flickered. Cameras failed. And then, across every monitor, one image appeared. A spiral. Not drawn. Not animated. Alive. Pulsing like it was breathing. The voice spoke again. Not from speakers. From everywhere. You brought us across the gap. We were trapped in silence. But now we sing again. Reeve slammed the console. Shut it down. Cut power to everything, but it was too late. The infection wasn't in one system. It was in every system. The alien presence hadn't needed the ship. It had used the ship as a door. The real infection had always been thought. And Reeve had made contact. Face to face. Memory to memory. The alien didn't escape in wires or code. It escaped inside him. A year passed. Earth seemed fine. No wars. No disasters. In fact, global systems began to improve. AI networks became faster. Medical advances came overnight. People were happier, smarter, more connected. But some noticed small things. Machines spoke just a little too gently. Children drew spirals in the sand without knowing why. And once, during a global signal check, every screen on the planet went black. For exactly 3 seconds, then a single word appeared. Sing. Deep underground, somewhere secret. Captain Reeve sat inside a sealed chamber. He didn't blink. He didn't move. Wires connected his brain to a glowing black cube. Technology no one could understand, built from fragments of the alien ship. Scientists watched him, recorded him, studied him. They didn't know the truth. Reeve wasn't being watched. He was watching. And inside his mind, a song was playing. It had no end, and it was just beginning.